Beautiful people. Welcome to today. Whatever day today is for you, because it is the perfect day to be living today, right? Today, we're going to talk about some transforming thoughts, some disrupting thoughts, perhaps, setting aside some things that we may have believed, and giving ourselves the gift of walking into a brand new future that we get to create unencumbered by our baggage or anybody else's. So, if that sounds like something you would like to take part in that conversation, keep watching. Okay, so I had the privilege, when I'm working out especially, it really helps me to feed my mind. Are y'all like that too? And so I had the privilege of getting to listen in on a podcast from a couple years ago, and I love Cathy Heller. Shout out to Cathy Heller. And she had a guest on her podcast, Allysson Byrd. And I had not heard of Allysson before. So I was she's gorgeous. So of course, sometimes the eye buys, right? And so I was like so intrigued by, who's this chick? I want to see what she's going to talk about. And one of the first things she said, so I just was going to share some of the notes that I got. I had to get out my binder and start taking notes during my workout, which was great because it was in between reps. I could just pause and write. But she said, mediocrity is a habit. Mediocrity is a habit. So what if, one of the things that's my heart for this channel, I have no idea what is going to become of this. I'm praying that it becomes a wonderful community, that we can bless as many girls and guys as possible with positivity and hope and truth, and that it's really a warm, safe place, and that it's judgment-free. And that we really create that kind of connection with each other, that we really celebrate one another. Kind of like, if she can, I can, like my friend Heidi says. And that's one of the things I long to make sure that we are creating here. And sometimes we have to remember that that's who we want to be, even if that's not how we were treated by some others in the world, before. This is a new situation. And another thing that Allysson said that I loved was sometimes it's time to suspend our relationship to our past failures. Anybody else? Suspend it, baby. I've been also reading the book Worthy by Kern Lima. So I love Audible. And so I say reading. I'm currently, the real deal is I'm listening. So that's what what it looks like if you want to check that out. And she talks about just receiving healing from anything that's been spoken about you to you, or that you might have heard spoken about over you, even when you were little. And I thought about how one time in a counseling situation, they had set up chairs, I know my texting gets in chairs, for me to have conversations with people that I had hurt or I had experienced hurt from, and really releasing those situations once I'd had the conversation. And it came up to me as I was talking to a group of leaders. I said, I think I might need to have a conversation with the chair named past disappointments, like missed goals, right? Or shame or embarrassment, and have those conversations. So I actually have that on my calendar, to have conversations with those three chairs. So that might sound like a silly idea, or it might sound like a really worthwhile idea. She encouraged, and I had heard this before, for us in our thought processes, especially with our words, because our words have so much power, right? God said, and then it was created, and we are what? Offspring of the Creator. And so our words have a lot of power. So she encouraged us to phrase things up until now. So up until now, I may have blah, 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 or not have blah, blah, blah. From now on, yada, 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 right? And so those are two great phrases, up until now, and then from now on. Loved that. I also loved, she talked a lot about not really holding our identity with stuff that has happened to us whether it's really good or bad, but letting every day be fresh, and that we really do get to create the kind of day we want to have today. We've talked about that before, like how all of our power is in the now, and that we are the thinker of our thoughts, right? We get to pick, we get to choose that. God gives us complete control over our thoughts, over our attitudes, and so that is a huge, powerful connection. This thought also, are you the COE or the CEO, whether it's of your business or of your life? So the COE is the chief of everything. And a lot of times we girls, maybe guys too, do that. We want to do all the things, and that is not going to serve us. And so the CEO stood for, in her world, the Chief Enterprising Officer. And so really like the role of delegation. How much can we release? How much can we learn to delegate to others? And so whether it's your home or your office or maybe your grocery shopping or whatever all the situations are for you, so that really whatever your gifts and your strengths and why you believe you were put on the planet, you can do those things. And then bless other people with finances, whether it's a lot or a little, to operate in their giftings and do like maybe more of the details or the cooking or whatever. So I totally love that. Allowing yourself to be supported, that the wisest woman would allow herself. So if you've ever seen my YouTube speech from 2008, it was about receive, receive, receive. The Barbie speech and how God just stopped me in my tracks as I was running one day and talked to me about how often I deflected even just compliments, and how much would I be willing to receive from him. And that began a great exploration between he and I of, okay, where am I holding myself back? Where are you just like, hey, not because you've earned it, not because you deserve no weird connotations from anything, but just because I said yes, that I want to give you this, Joya. Where am I not receiving any of those things? Because, like if this is a great visual, getting to heaven and there being a warehouse and God allowing us to each walk down all the aisles that were labeled with our name. And honestly, y'all, I want all my shelves to be empty. Every gift that God has said yes to for me, I want to have received it, opened it up, used it to the full, shared it with whoever. I want the shelves that are marked Julia to be empty because I received all the gifts that God had in mind for me. And I don't want to be sad looking at all the shelves still filled with gifts because I was not willing to be supported, to be celebrated, to be lavishly loved, right? And sometimes that takes a lot of work on our part. Would y'all agree with that? To get to that place. So wherever you are in life, she says, your mind got you there first, right? We envisioned it, we imagined it, and to mine the moment. So I hope whatever you're doing right now, maybe you'll stop and you'll come back to this same video. Maybe you'll share it with a friend. Maybe you'll listen over and over and just think some of these new transforming thoughts, if they are for you. I'd love to hear in the comments what you think about these thoughts and why you're hearing them right at this moment. What is happening, that the energy is shifting, that you've landed. Maybe you've never heard of Julia Mundy-Garner, but for whatever reason you landed here today. Maybe it's like 10 years from the time that I first made the video, but today's the first time that this was exposed to you in your world, or maybe reminded to you. What is happening in your universe that God wants you to notice, that he is making sure that you know that he is seeing you, because you are that important. Okay, that's probably enough for today. I want to keep it short enough that everyone wants to keep watching. So, like, subscribe, share, do the things. Thanks a million for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time.